Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Wabihi nasta'in wa ala umri dunya waddin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'du. Honorable Mr. Febri Hasibuan as lecturer, International Economics course, and all of my friends who will be diplomats in the future. We are from Group 10, will presentation the material about international economic cooperation. But before that, we will introduce ourselves. The first is Fakhru Rizki Ramadhan, the second is Muhammad Wildan N.I, and the third is Sutan Sahara Alpasha.
So this slide will explain about topic discussion. First, forms of international economic cooperation. Second, regional economic integrity. Third, example of international economic cooperation. Fourth, fields and scope of international economic cooperation. International economic cooperation refers to the collaboration and coordination of economic policies and activities among nations to achieve common goals and address global economic challenges. This cooperation can take various forms, such as promoting free trade through the bilateral and multilateral agreements, coordinating macroeconomic and exchange rate policies, and addressing global economic integration and financial stability.
Forms of international economic cooperation. First one is bilateral economic cooperation, which is economic cooperation between two countries. The second is regional economic cooperation, which is economic cooperation between countries in a particular region. The third is multilateral economic cooperation, which is economic cooperation involving many countries without being bound by certain regional boundaries.
Now I will explain about regional economic integration. The definition of regional economic integration is agreement between groups of countries in a geographic region to reduce and ultimately remove tariff and non-tariff barriers to the free flow of goods, services, and factors of production between each other. Regional economic integration have four levels. The first is free trade, the second is customs union, the third is common market, and the fourth is economic union. First, I will explain about free trade. With free trade, all the barriers to the trade of goods and services among member countries are removed. However, each country can determine its own trade policies with regard to non-members. Members are free to determine the level of protection applied to goods coming from the outside. An example of this type of economic integration is the European Free Trade Area or EFTA, which was formed in 1916 and resulted in the Stockholm Convention. The Stockholm Convention created the European Free Trade Area in 7 countries, namely Austria, Denmark, Norway, Portugal, Sweden, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. The existing barriers to free trade in this region were gradually removed, precisely from 1966. After that, Finland and Iceland also joined. The second is customs union. Customs is the agency in charge of supervising, collecting, and managing matters relating to customs duties on entry or imports and customs duties on exit or exports. Well, in this customs union, leaders among fellow members who carry out regional cooperation will impose free trade provisions and the same import duty rates and quotas on non-member countries. For example, countries A, B, and C forms a customs union. Then, trade between the 3 countries will take place freely and without any barriers, either in the form of tariff or quotas. However, when countries A, B, and C import certain products from countries outside the member countries, the 3 countries will also impose uniform tariff on these products. The third is common market. In a common market, labor and capital are free to move and there are no restrictions on immigration, and cross-border flows of capital between member countries. An example of the application of the common market is in the European Community or AC. The AC was established in 1958 by 6 countries, namely Germany, Belgium, France, Netherlands, Italy, and Luxembourg. Over time, the membership of the AC has increased, with the inclusion of Portugal, Greece, Spain, United Kingdom, Ireland, and Denmark. And the fourth is economic union. With the economic union, common currency, common tax rate, fiscal, and monetary policy are all required. The tangible form of the economic union is the introduction of a single currency in the European region called the European Currency Unit or ACU with the euro currency.
So here I will explain about the field and scope of international economic cooperation. The field and scope of international economic cooperation covers various aspects of the economy between countries. Here's a more detailed explanation for each field. First, trade in goods and service. It involves the exchange of goods and services between countries. Indonesia has various trade agreements with other countries such as the ASEAN Free Trade Area or AFTA, and trade agreements with various other trading partner countries. Second, foreign investment involves the flow of capital from one country to another. Indonesia has received foreign investment from various countries, such as investment in the mining, manufacturing, and infrastructure sectors. Third, international finance cover aspects of interstate finance such as monetary and fiscal policy. Indonesia has cooperated with international financial institutions such as the International Monetary Fund to support financial stability and economic growth. Fourth, economic development involves assistance and cooperation to advance a country's economy. Indonesia has received economic development assistance from various countries and international institutions for infrastructure and other development projects. Fifth, technology and innovation involves the transfer of technology and innovation between countries. Indonesia has collaborated in technology transfer and innovation with various countries, especially in the industrial and information technology sectors. Last one, social welfare involves cooperation to improve social welfare in various countries. Indonesia has collaborated with various countries and international institutions to improve social welfare, such as social assistance programs and poverty alleviation. For the next slide, there are the purpose and benefit of international economic cooperation. So I will explain you about purpose first. Number 1, improving economic welfare. The objective of international economic cooperation include improving economic welfare, economic growth, and the structure of national economic activity. Number 2, meeting domestic needs for goods and service. This cooperation aims to domestic needs for goods and service. Number 3, drive increased productivity. Another goal is to drive increased productivity and expand employment. Number 4, reducing inequality in developed and developing countries. International economic cooperation also aims to reduce inequality between developed and developing countries. So, for the next, I will explain you about benefits of international economic cooperation. First, improving economic prosperity. International economic cooperation can create patterns of dependence with other countries, increase the rise of foreign currencies and world oil, and expand markets for the production of goods and services. Second, increase economic growth. This cooperation can expand employment, increase foreign exchange for countries, and distribute resource benefits that reduce inequality between developed and developing countries. Third, enhancing economic cooperation, trade investment. International economic cooperation strengthens and enhances economic trade and investment cooperation between members. Fourth, improving the quality of labor. The existence of international economic cooperation can improve the quality of labor.
Example of international economic cooperation. The first one is bilateral cooperation. The example, Indonesia-Japan Economic Partnership Agreement. The Indonesia-Japan Economic Partnership Agreement is an economic partnership agreement between Indonesia and Japan that focus on facilitating market access for trade in goods and services, strengthening investment, and sending Indonesian labor. IJPA aims to increase trade and investment between Indonesia and Japan through three main pillars: liberalization, facilitation, and capacity building. Indonesia and Japan agreed to create a free trade area that can provide economic benefits in the form of open market access for goods and services, with reduced import duty tariffs and non-tariff measures on several product classifications. IJPA covers cooperation in manufacturing, agriculture, fishery, forestry, trade, human resource, tourist, and mineral resources. The next is regional cooperation. ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. ASEAN is a Southeast Asian regional organization established on August 8, 1967. This organization aims to maintain peace, promote regional unity, and create a peaceful and prosperous Southeast Asian region. The forms of ASEAN cooperation in the economic field. The first one is ASEAN Industrial Cooperation. The second is cooperation in the food reserve sector. The third is ASEAN Free Trade Area. The fourth is ASEAN cooperation in the tourism economy. And the fifth is establishment of ASEAN Promotion Center. Next, multi-regional cooperation. The example is OPEC, Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Country. OPEC was founded on 14 September 1961 in Baghdad, Iraq. The establishment of this organization of oil exporting countries was triggered by the decision of multinational oil company to monopolize the petroleum industry and set prices unilateral in 1959. The oil company were known as the Seven Sisters, which consist of 7 major oil companies. This condition made several oil exporting countries, especially in the Arabian Gulf country, decide to create their own organization based on the similarity of natural mineral resources, especially petroleum. The purpose of OPEC is to unite oil exporting countries around the world. In addition, OPEC is a vehicle for its member country to negotiate issues regarding international oil production, prices, and concession with oil companies around the world.